Good morning. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Wild Card Weekend, folks. Man, I'm excited. I have a top 11 Super Bowl matchups I want to see. I'll get to that momentarily. But first, let's get to my low, my high, my act of kindness. My low, it rained. It was cold last night. Not fun. High though, went out, ran into another one of the nicest families on the face of the earth. Got to see them. It was a lot of fun. Oh, actually, there's something that happened in seeing them last night. I'll get to that in a second. And act of kindness was I did some shopping for my grandma yesterday. Overall, it was a very productive day. It was a very, very, very productive day. And I can take some pride in the fact that this weekend is going to be something special. Because tonight I'm going to a night to glow, get to dress up nice, got my outfit ready to go. But first, let me just enjoy this morning. Maybe make myself some breakfast later. Oh, also, another part of my high. My mom made mac and cheese last night. I had a little bit of it before I went out. It was so good. First mac and cheese of 2024. And it's actually the best I've had so far in 2024. Thanks to a little something called default. Or as Homer Simpson would say, the two sweetest words of the English language. Default, default, default. Okay, so, regarding seeing these people I saw last night, right? Because, like me, some of them are also Mean Girls fans. So naturally, they had to ask me how the movie was. And ever since I saw Mean Girls on Thursday, I've waited forever for someone to ask me in person how Mean Girls was. I'm like, oh, I actually get to say this. It was so fetch. And it got a big laugh. Seriously, I might go see Mean Girls again. I'm not kidding. I had a lot of fun. There was even a few things I didn't touch upon in yesterday's video. I could have mentioned, I could have said. Which, seriously, there's one part where it's shot like a horror film. A really good horror film. I was not expecting that. But enough about that. I have a top 11 Super Bowl matchups that I want to do. Why am I doing top 11? Well, like the Nostalgia Critic before me, or Doug Walker, aka the Nostalgia Critic before me, I too like to go one step beyond. That's why I'm doing top 11, not top 10. Now, before I get to the list, some ground rules that I have established in previous years. For starters, for you to qualify to be on this list, you have to have made the playoffs. If you are one of the 14 teams, 7 from the NFC and 7 from the AFC, that worked long and hard to make it to the playoffs, then congratulations, you are eligible to be on this list. Simple enough. Now, most important. Second rule. Second rule is each matchup, obviously, since it is the Super Bowl, has to have one representative from the NFC and one representative from the AFC. Because that's what the Super Bowl is. The best from the NFC versus the best of the AFC come together, and that's Super Bowl. Both best of both sides, what you got. Makes sense. Now, my third rule, and this is something I do for me, but whenever I make this list each year, I try and go for some hype factor. There's actually and in previous years, sometimes one team versus several teams for reasons. I actually try to avoid that this year. At the end of the day, it's not one team versus a bunch of teams. It's one team versus another. The best from the AFC and the best from the NFC. What you got, that's what I went with here. So, with that said, number 11, I decided to go. It's funny because number 11 under normal circumstances is a Super Bowl I really would never watch, but hold on a second. Okay, I'm looking at my list just in the last second. I'm like, wait, why do I have that one on there? Like, oh yeah, that is true. Okay, so, but I'll get to that in 1 second. So, number 11, and it's a Super Bowl that under normal circumstances I wouldn't watch, but it would be interesting to see. And that is number 11, the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. An all Pennsylvania Super Bowl. We've never had that before. We've had an all New York Super Bowl before, between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Giants. You know, it's actually possible to get another all New York Super Bowl between the Giants and the Jets. It's possible to do an all California Super Bowl between the San Francisco 49ers or the Rams versus the Chargers. You could have an all Texas Super Bowl between the Texans and the Cowboys. You know, but outside of an all New York Super Bowl, we've never actually had anything else. So this is one series of playoffs where, if all goes well, especially for the Steelers, we could get an all Pennsylvania Super Bowl. That'd be pretty cool. So that's cool. Number 10, I thought about this long and hard, and you know what? It would actually kind of make sense if this Super Bowl was a rematch of the very first NFL game that was played, this NFL regular season game that was played this year. So number 10, I've got the Chiefs and the Lions. The Kansas City Chiefs versus the Detroit Lions. You know, again, this whole season, regular season, began watching Thursday Night Football. I remember that night very well. I was out with some friends who were visiting from Florida, and we ended the night pretty much at Rosars, and we watched the rest of the Detroit Lions versus the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Detroit Lions won. And keep in mind, the Chiefs had just won the Super Bowl. The Detroit Lions actually beat the returning Super Bowl champs. So how cool would it be if that first game wound up having, if that was a rematch, if the rematch happened in the Super Bowl? That'd be really cool. So, rematch of the very first game that happened this year. Cool. Okay, now number 9, I've got the Cleveland Browns versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Or, as I like to call it, the Baker Bowl. Because Baker Mayfield was picked number 1 overall by the Cleveland Browns after the Browns went 131 in 2 years. And, you know, I'm just going to say right now, the Cleveland Browns did Baker Mayfield dirty. They never should have gotten rid of Baker Mayfield. Especially not for someone with that much, let's say, baggage as Deshaun Watson. You know, I think Deshaun Watson is like $230 million, and like for several years or something like that. Like, was Deshaun Watson a better quarterback? At the time, yes. But come on. This is why people say same old Browns. Meanwhile, as Baker Mayfield's been in Tampa Bay, he's been thriving. I mean, he got the team to the playoffs again. I mean, keep in mind, Baker Mayfield is the first quarterback to come after Tom Brady. And he's doing exceptional. He's doing his own thing. He's being his Baker Mayfield swagger-like self, you know? He woke up feeling dangerous. And I think this Super Bowl will be phenomenal because Baker Mayfield will be going up against his other team, his old team. In a way, it's actually, the idea for this one came up with the fact that the Rams are playing the Lions this week and Matthew Stafford is playing against his old team. I'm like, is there any way that can happen to it? Can. Baker Mayfield. You know, he's drafted by the Browns, and now he's playing for the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers and the Browns made the playoffs. They could meet in the Super Bowl. That'd be a great storyline. Speaking of great storylines, this is the one I'm like, why did I put this one on here again? And then it hit me. Because number 8 is the Miami Dolphins versus the Philadelphia Eagles. You're probably wondering, what's so significant about that? Well, you got Tua Tagovailoa versus Jalen Hurts. Both of them were quarterbacks for Alabama. And both of them were Heisman Trophy finalists. In fact, Jalen Hurts had the original starting job in Alabama, but then Tua took over when Jalen Hurts wasn't playing well against Georgia, and Tua won. How fitting would it be if Jalen got the ultimate revenge in the Super Bowl. That'd be cool. Actually, I mean, here's the thing. I don't necessarily know if I'd root for the Eagles in that Super Bowl, but it would be interesting to watch. Plus, not to sound like insensitive or anything, but because Tua Tagovailoa is from Hawaii, would that also be another Super Bowl with 2 black quarterbacks? Come to think of it, never mind. Well, actually, it leads to number 7, but I'll get that second. Because if Tua Tagovailoa identified as black and it was against the Eagles, Jalen Hurts is also black, that'd be another Super Bowl with 2 black quarterbacks. Although speaking of the Super Bowl with 2 black quarterbacks, that leads into number 7. The Chiefs versus the Packers. Yeah, a rematch of Super Bowl 1. The very first Super Bowl was against the Chiefs and the Packers. And the Packers won. Bart Starr won the day. Okay, now actually, you know what? I think I remember. You know what? It just hit me. I'm looking at my list right now. I don't have. I don't want to spoil it because I think I know when to make a change. Can you tell me? I'm doing this as I go. So Chiefs and the Packers, again, rematch Super Bowl 1, and it'd be a Super Bowl with 2 starting black quarterbacks. Pat Mahomes and Jordan Love. That works. And another Super Bowl with 2 starting black quarterbacks. Number 6, the Cowboys versus the Ravens. That'd be an interesting one. Yeah, you knew I was going to get to my Cowboys eventually, and don't worry. We'll be seeing my Cowboys again very soon. Number 5, the Browns versus the 49ers. Because it was the Browns that actually gave the 49ers their first loss of the year. And it then went into a spiral of the Niners just losing 4 or 5 games in a row or something. No, they lost 4 in a row. They lost 4 in a row. That's what it was. So that'd be a great Super Bowl. That'd be a great rematch in the Super Bowl. Now, number 4, I decided that, you know what? I've been putting a lot of focus on rematches because of NFL players or rematches of storylines and stuff like that. But I haven't done anything involving coaches yet. That's why number 4 is the Buffalo Bills versus the Los Angeles Rams. Yeah, man, Sean McDermott versus Sean McVay. Or as I call it, the dueling Seans. That'd be awesome. Plus, it'd be a rematch of the very first game that happened last year, where the Rams had just won the Super Bowl. Everyone was already expecting Buffalo to be really good, so it was going to be a great game. And Buffalo just beat the ever-living shit out of them. Yeah, it was 41-14 after that game. I think that'd be a really great rematch to have. Because both teams have come so very far. Going around with Matthew Stafford versus Josh Allen. That'd be great. That's already great as it is. It's already box office. But the dueling Seans, though, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Now, number 3, I really want to emphasize, because for those who don't know, there are a few teams that have been in the Super Bowl and never won it. However, there are even fewer teams that have never been to the Super Bowl at all. And 2 such teams are the Cleveland Browns and the Detroit Lions, which is my number 3 on this list. 2 teams that have never made it to the Super Bowl before. The Lions are the 3 seed, the Cleveland Browns are the 5 seed in the AFC, and they've actually beaten the Ravens already, so I don't see how they can't do it again. And the Lions have done so much and proven so much. They could very well meet in the Super Bowl, actually. I actually would like to see that. The Browns versus the Lions. That'd be a great Super Bowl. Now, I will admit, these last 2, number 2 and number 1, I really wanted to, It's funny. I tried to make sure I wouldn't do any rematches on this list, but then again, I already did Chiefs versus Packers. So, you know what? Why not? Number two is my number two, the duel of the number one seeds. The Baltimore Ravens versus the San Francisco 49ers. Not only would it be a duel of number one seeds, but it would be a rematch of Super Bowl 47. I remember watching that Super Bowl too, because for those of you who don't know, I went to Gettysburg College. And at Gettysburg College, there's this place called the Attic. It's a place where, students hang out and everything. And every year on the Super Bowl, I went to the Attic to watch Super Bowl. Because, free food and stuff like that, right? Every year I went to the Attic to watch the Super Bowl. The team I rooted for in the Super Bowl always won. My freshman year, the Saints won. My sophomore year, the Packers won. My junior year, the Giants beat the Patriots. And before I continue on my senior year, I just gotta say, Giants versus Patriots round two, that was the most fun I ever had. My parents got me a Victor Cruz shirt, not a jersey, it was just like a shirt with Victor Cruz's number and name on the back of it. And I was surrounded by Pats fans. It was awesome just getting in their face. I'm like, yeah! Go Giants! See, Giants fans, as a Cowboys fan, I can be sympathetic towards you. I don't hate the Giants at all. I just acknowledge that the Giants suck. But I'm not mean to them. Okay, that is a little mean. But the point is, I can be kind to the Giants. I totally can be kind to the Giants. I rooted for the Giants and the Patriots in both of the Patriots Super Bowls. And the Giants won both Super Bowls. So you know what? If anything, you should be thanking me. Me cheering them on was probably the mojo. I mean, as Jason Kelsey once said, all that energy has to go somewhere. Yeah, anyone who watched Mythical Kitchen's last meals videos, Jason Kelsey was on there, and Mythical Chef Josh talked about how turned his cat back, and he thought that was the reason why the Eagles won the Super Bowl that year. And Jason Kelsey says all that energy has to go somewhere. So yeah. The point is, every year I went to the Attic to watch the Super Bowl. Every team I rooted for always won. And my senior year, I rooted for the Ravens to win. And they won. Plus, it would be a rematch of a game that happened a few weeks ago where the Ravens just destroyed the 49ers. I think the 49ers can do it again. I really do think it'd be a great matchup. Ravens versus 49ers. I think the Super Bowl matchup could happen again. So, a duel of the number one seeds. At number two of all places. So, what do I have at number one? Oh, come on. I'm surrounded by the Bills Mafia, and I'm a Cowboys fan. What do you think number one was going to be? And for number one, I got the Buffalo Bills and the Dallas Cowboys. Rematches of Super Bowl... Actually, not Super Bowls. 2 Super Bowls. It was, because you remember, the Buffalo Bills went to 4 straight Super Bowls in the 90s. And they lost all 4 in a row. The second and third time they went to the Super Bowl, they went up against my Dallas Cowboys. Now, the first time, the Dallas Cowboys completely destroyed them. Like 52-17 or something like that. The second time, though, it was a lot closer. In fact, the Bills were actually winning at halftime. But then Emmitt Smith found his groove and, he put that game away. So, come on. Let me look it up. I keep forgetting what number it is. Hold on. Okay. It was a Super Bowl 27, Super Bowl 20. So, yeah, it'd be a rematch of Super Bowl 27, Super Bowl 28, in which the Cowboys both won. Now, as a Cowboys fan, we're really chomping at the bit to make it back to the Super Bowl, in spite of everything that Jerry Jones has done to us over the years. But meanwhile, the Bills, come on. I'm surrounded by the Bills Mafia. No one from the Bills Mafia needs to hear this from me, but if anyone's chomping at the bit to make it back to the Super Bowl and prove themselves, it's the Bills. And if they went up against my Dallas Cowboys, which actually they did earlier this year, and the Bills completely destroyed them. Here's the thing. If the Bills were to go up against my Dallas Cowboys, I would root for the Cowboys, but I wouldn't expect us to win. I think the game would be a lot closer than like that 38-3 or whatever that was game a few weeks back was any indication. Like, because both teams are, because seriously, both the Cowboys and the Bills have lost games they never should have lost. And both teams are a lot better than any piece of paper could ever tell you. I am telling you guys right now, if it was the Bills and Cowboys Super Bowl, I genuinely might think it would be the most watched Super Bowl in NFL history. I really think it will be. And keep in mind, the Super Bowl last year, huge numbers. I mean, again, it was the first Super Bowl with 2 starting black quarterbacks. But there's just something about the Dallas Cowboys being America's team and the Buffalo Bills and their Bills Mafia with such a huge, both have huge fan bases. I mean, come on. You're not going to get any more box office than this. You're not going to get any more hype than this. And for both my Dallas Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills, this Super Bowl happening, there wouldn't be a better opportunity for that to happen than right now. So, yeah. Those are my Super Bowl picks I'm waiting to see. I hope y'all like this video. If you didn't like this, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I am very home in this video. For all of you guys watching, enjoy for today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful wild card weekend. Happy Saturday, everyone. Hope you have a happy Saturday. You're not a football fan, so I hope you have a happy Saturday anyway. And remember, I guess I can make some NFL picks today. Why not? Who's playing today? I know the Chiefs and the Dolphins are tonight on Peacock. Wrong one. NFL schedule. Okay, so it's the Browns and Texans and the Chiefs and the Dolphins. I got the Browns winning it this afternoon. I got the Chiefs winning tonight. So now I hope you like this video. If you like, subscribe to the channel on social media. As always, I'm very humble or you guys watching today. I hope we have a wonderful. Actually, let me say that better. I am very humbled that I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I'm hopeful that we all have a wonderful Saturday. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk, channel is going to be here to lend the all day back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.